Hi everyone, I want to take a few minutes to talk about a program called 3D Web Worlds, and we were encouraged by the Department of Education to provide you guys with computer simulations, things that you can do on a Chromebook that'll run on the internet. And I found this platform called 3D Web Worlds and really liked it. It was easy for me to create new software, create websites, and so on. So there are links. This is all internet based, so there are links and there are ways to access it. So what you'll do is you'll go into the Canvas class, and I've already told you how to do that. In the first module, tell you take time to practice for 3D Web Worlds. So what you'll do is you'll click on the link that's in here, and what that'll do is that will load my 3D Web Worlds website. And you'll notice that there's lots of options. There's a couple of screens that give you an idea about what this program can do that we'll be able to use. But I'm going to start with something really simple here. So what you're going to do is come on over here, and you notice it'll say, welcome to Dr. S's lobby, seasons. Let's try the Natural History Museum. These are called direct links. So if I click on one of these things like this, what'll happen is that the program will load and you're inside this virtual museum. And this is a website, but it's a 3D website. So what you can do is you can navigate around. So if I press my WASD keys, just like in a lot of video games, it'll move me forward, it'll move me back. A and D allows me to strafe right and left. The arrow keys also work as you would expect. Up arrow is forward, back arrow is down arrow is back, and you can strafe right or left. If you want to rotate, all you do is you take your mouse, and drag it around so I can look to the right or left. Those of you that have played Minecraft or other video games, you're going to pick up on this really fast. If you get lost, you'll notice what you can do is press the escape key, and that gets you the cursor. And there's a whole button down there that talks about how do I move? Where do I go? Where'd my cursor go? What do I do with pop-ups and so on? So what I like is that there's a lot of information here. Don't worry so much about the other buttons for now. And if you don't like all this social media stuff, there are two green arrows. You can click on that and get rid of them. So what I want you to do is we're going to start in the museum, and I'm going to go around like this. And I'm going to come over here. All the exhibits are numbered. By the way, a number of these are based on actual fossils and exhibits from the Virginia Museum of Natural History. And I want to just take a minute to thank that organization for allowing me to use images from the museum. So, like I said, you'll navigate around here past the dinosaur. And then you'll see some questions. It'll say, how did the mountains of Virginia form? Here's the Blue Ridge. How did they form? So you might think about that. Maybe you've seen the Blue Ridge, if you've gone into Rona. And then, how do I check myself? What you do is you'll see there's a little red dot there. If I move that around and hover it over the one like this, there's a pop-up. And it actually tells you the answer. Now, sometimes those flicker on and off. If you want to lock it in, I'm just going to press the escape key. And now I get a cursor back, and I can read over it. And I can either click the X or I can click the glows window. So that's one way that you can use 3D Web Worlds. But it's not the only way that you can use 3D Web Worlds, because this is multiplayer, multi-student. So I can go back to here, and you notice there are other options. By the way, please do not use the free registration button here. If you want an account, you don't have to, but if you want one, contact me. I'll work that out. There's also an enter as guest button, which is really cool. So you can go down here and you can put in a screen name. I wouldn't for privacy, please don't put any real life information or real name information into 3D Web Worlds. This is on the internet. Other people might be coming in. So I'm just going to use Day Miami. That's a screen name that I use for commonly online, and click guest log on. And they'll say, encourage you to create it. Please don't do that. Do not create your own account. Just click here to enter, and it will take you to my virtual 3D classroom, or the lobby as it's called. And you notice there's a couple of posters on the board. There's the Franklin County High School logo over here. There's the 3D Web Worlds logo. But let's suppose I want to go back to my museum. Well, first thing I want to do is I want to see my avatar. Yeah, those of you that played video games, you know about that. So I'm going to press escape to get my cursor button. And then there's a third button here. That means third person. If I click on that, hey, there's my avatar. It's my name above it. And now I can move my avatar around in the simulation like this. All right. And it says, I'm going to ignore that. So underneath the museum, there's a teleport button. And if I click on that, I got to get a little closer to it. If I click on that, now you'll get a menu. And I'm going to click escape. Whoops. Try again. I'm going to click the escape key to lock that in. And now it says, do you want to go by yourself or do you want to go with an avatar? So I'd rather go with avatars. So I'm going to click on that. And now I'm back in my virtual museum like this. And if you go in with a friend, what will happen is that there are other buttons here. For example, there's a mic button. If I press that, now my voice is going out. And anybody else that's logged in with a guest account can hear me. So if your friends are social distancing, if they're in other homes, you can use this to chat with them. By the way, you can drag this around if you want to see it. If I want to go back to see my avatar, I just press third person, and there's my avatar like this. And again, I can walk around, I can click on the exhibits or the numbers and get information on it. All right, so that is your second option. So we've got a direct link where you go in by yourself. There's a guest login. I'm going to log out here. Some of you might actually want to try something else. I've created a login. I create an account. I'll be happy to make them for you as well if you want to do this. So now I enter my information in on the screen. And the way I get this, let me go back and I'll show you how you get there. I got to go back to this one again. There we go. If I go to this screen again, you notice we ignore free registration. Don't do that. See, it says user login, multiple user. If I click on that, now I get this logon screen. So I can enter my account information if you want to go this far and click login. And this time, what will happen is it will take me back to my lobby. But this time, if I click on third person, you'll be able to see my custom avatar. This is a lot of fun. For those of you that like avatars in games, you notice now it looks more like a person rather than a purple blob. And if I'm going to click on this, there's a me. You can actually pull a selfie up. And you notice I'm in the proud Franklin County High School, red and white. I've got a monogrammed shirt on. I've got the Franklin County logo on. It's really cool. Having your own account also allows you to do things like maybe you want to build your own sim, okay, in 3D Web Worlds. And I had one student last spring that did that. So there are a lot of other options. You don't have to do it. I mean, obviously, you got a lot more buttons down here to play with. But if you just want the simple experience, you're welcome to do that as well. So if you have any questions, play around with 3D Web Worlds. But I think you'll have a lot of fun with this.